At this time, grounding is an issue that receives insufficient attention from researchers, and there are relatively few scientific studies that examine its benefits. The most current scientific research, on the other hand, has investigated the effects of grounding on inflammation, cardiovascular illness, muscular damage, chronic pain, and mood. Today we will discuss what is grounding and how can it help. An approach to treatment known as grounding, which is sometimes known as earthing, involves engaging in activities that serve to electrically link a person to the earth. Grounding can also be referred to as earthing. The good benefits that electrical charges from the earth can have on your body are explained by earthing science and grounding physics, which are the foundations of this technique. This particular form of grounding therapy is not exactly the same as the one that is utilized in the treatment of mental health conditions. Types of grounding or earthing. There are a lot of different grounding methods. Every one of them emphasizes re-establishing a connection to the natural world around you. This can be accomplished through direct touch with the earth or by communication with the earth in a more roundabout way. Walking barefoot. Have you ever experienced the temptation to run about barefoot in the grass when you are outside on a hot summer day? Going barefoot is one of the simplest things you can do to reconnect with the environment and your body. Allowing your skin to make contact with the natural ground, whether it be grass, sand, or even mud, can offer you with a grounding energy that can be beneficial. Lying on the ground. Lying down on the ground allows for greater contact between your skin and the earth. You can carry it out on the sand at the beach or on the grass that is located next to the park. If you decide to ground yourself in this manner, always be sure to take the necessary measures and never lie down in a position that puts you in danger of being hurt. Submersing in water. It has been suggested by proponents of grounding that anchoring by water may be possible in the same manner that grounding via the actual soil is possible. They recommend simply going for a swim in the ocean or wading in a lake that is clear as a way to help you feel more grounded. When going swimming, you should always take precautions to protect yourself, especially in muddy or deep water. Using grounding equipment. There are alternatives to stepping outside to ground yourself when that isn't a possibility. According to trusted source, a metal rod can be connected to the ground outside using a wire, and then the metal rod can be connected to your body using the same line. This is one form of earthing. You don't have to use a metal rod to ground yourself if you don't feel comfortable doing so. There is other grounding equipment available. Included in this earthing therapy equipment, which is an effective approach to include earthing therapy into your everyday life, are the following items: grounding mats, grounding sheets or blankets, socks that ground you, bands and patches that provide grounding. Online retailers stock grounding products such as mats, sheets, blankets, socks, and bands. Why do we need to use grounding? There hasn't been a lot of research done on the advantages of grounding. Nevertheless, many have experienced improvements for ailments including the following: fatigue that won't go away. After 4 weeks of therapy with grounding mats, many of the massage therapists in the study reported a reduction in the amount of weariness they were experiencing. Pain that is ongoing. The participants in the study on grounding for exercise recovery reported having lower levels of discomfort than those who did not use grounding patches. Anxiety with a sense of hopelessness. Even only 1 hour of grounding therapy can greatly enhance one's mood, according to the findings of a single, more limited study. Sleep problems. The massage therapists who participated in grounding therapy reported an increase in the length of their sleep and a reduction in the number of disruptions to their sleep. Cardiovascular illness. The findings of one treatment trial indicated that hypertensive patients who underwent long-term grounding therapy that they themselves provided were able to achieve lower levels of blood pressure. Improves blood pressure. Without a doubt, this is one of the greatest advantages of grounding. Chronic stress, often known as high blood pressure, is a key contributor to health problems today. Our bodies often tend to create more hormones, such as adrenaline and cortisol, while under stress. The blood vessels narrow and the heart rate rises when these hormone levels are too high. This may eventually result in hypertension. Enhances energy levels. Everyone can agree that nature has a remarkable way of boosting our spirits and energy levels. But when shoes aren't a factor, you can earth yourself to the fullest extent possible and connect to the planet's energy field even more deeply. The Earth's surface has a negative charge while people have a positive charge in terms of particles. This implies that extra energy is released when we make direct contact with the ground. As a result, stress from the body's electrical systems is released, and energy from nature is absorbed. Numerous physiological changes, including healing and increased levels of energy, take place in the body by establishing contact with Earth's electrons. Nowadays, rubber or plastic-soled shoes are frequently worn by people for greater comfort. The energy field of Earth is blocked by these kinds of shoes. This consequently causes the body's energy levels to decline. Advice on how to earth yourself. Earthing is not a quick remedy in the same way that other forms of treatment are not. However, the effects are positive, despite the fact that it demands patience and perseverance. Once you have made the decision to incorporate earthing into your recovery journey, the following are some helpful hints. Talk it over with a trained expert. If you are unfamiliar with the concept of earthing, you should look for a handbook to help you through the process. The earthing community is growing, and with it comes the opportunity to share information, relationships, and best practices. Maintain the same schedule. Once you've gotten the ball rolling, move forward with full force. The more you put effort towards grounding yourself, the quicker you'll start to observe improvements in your situation. You should make it a point to begin each day with a grounding practice so that you can get into the habit of doing so. Regardless of the method you choose to use to practice earthing, it is important to pay attention to both yourself and the environment around you. Maintain your presence in the now. The question now is, how can you incorporate grounding into your daily routine? Simply going outside in the fresh air without shoes on is the simplest solution. You may see some effects after as little as 10 minutes of your time and as much as an hour of your time. Put your feet on the ground while you are standing or sitting in a chair. You are free to put your hands in the grass, but you should make sure that you are spending a consistent amount of time outside. You can utilize a grounding system instead if this method is not feasible for you. However, this is the easiest way to incorporate grounding into your setup. Connecting this to a grounded outlet can be done in the form of a sheet, mat, patches, wristbands, or ankle bands. Other forms include a patch. When you plug your device into this grounded outlet, you are establishing a connection to the earth itself. Why does this method succeed? According to one of the hypotheses, the fact that our skin comes into contact with the soil enables electrons to flow into the skin as well as the body, which in turn influences immunological marker expression. Grounding has been present from the beginning of time. As a result of recent studies, we are becoming aware of the possible advantages to one's health. Consider going barefoot to be an acceptable way of life. You can connect to the Earth's surface and bring your body back into a state of equilibrium by stimulating the tiny nerves in the bottom of your feet. This will also reduce inflammation and drive a parasympathetic nervous system response. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.